15 billion miles from the warmth of our sun, a relic from the 1970s is slowly freezing to death. Voyager 1 was supposed to be fading into silence. After nearly half a century drifting away from Earth, it was expected to do only one thing: keep fading. But instead of quietly shutting down in the void of interstellar space, it started sending something back. A pattern, a rhythmic distortion in its telemetry data that defied every known model of how an aging spacecraft should behave. This was not the chaotic static of a dying computer. This was a structured fluctuation, heavily implying that out there, in the pitch-black abyss we thought was empty, something is moving. It takes over 22.5 hours for a single radio whisper to reach Earth from that unimaginable distance. Moving at the absolute speed of light, this transmission crawls across the frozen graveyard of the outer solar system. By the time it hits the massive parabolic dishes of NASA's Deep Space Network, the signal is a fraction of a billionth of a watt, weak like a whisper from another age. But scientists listen. They have to, because Voyager is no longer just a probe. It is a border guard. In August 2012, Voyager officially pierced the heliopause. The solar wind, which is the magnetic bubble generated by our sun that shields the planets from deep space radiation, suddenly collapsed. Voyager was in the true unknown, interstellar space. For a while, the data was predictable. High-energy cosmic rays spiked, temperatures plummeted, but then came the anomaly. Engineers monitoring the spacecraft noticed that the attitude and articulation control system had started acting like it was hallucinating. This system is critical. It tells the spacecraft exactly how to orient itself to keep its high-gain antenna pointed precisely at Earth. The telemetry data it was sending back was completely invalid. It looked randomly generated, almost impossible to decipher. But here is the terrifying part. The antenna was still perfectly locked onto Earth. The signal strength never dropped. If the system was truly broken, the spacecraft would have spun out of alignment, and the signal would have been lost entirely. But it wasn't. The probe was acting as if it was compensating for a physical disturbance, an external force pushing against the fragile spacecraft. Something in the invisible ocean of interstellar space was interacting with Voyager. But if it wasn't a glitch, what exactly was it? When most people picture the edge of the solar system, they imagine a clean line where the planets end and an empty vacuum begins. The reality is infinitely more violent. Beyond the heliopause lies a turbulent, raging region dominated by Thebo shock. As our entire solar system hurtles through the Milky Way galaxy of half a million miles per hour, it physically crashes into ancient cosmic debris. This creates a colossal wave of plasma and magnetic turbulence. It is a Tsushin of radiation, and Voyager is a tiny metal raft floating right through it. In fact, when Voyager crossed the boundary, it sent back a piece of data that completely shocked astrophysicists. We always assumed the space between stars would be incredibly thin and empty, but Voyager detected that the plasma density actually increased the further it went into the dark. The void was getting thicker. Could the signal distortion simply be a rogue wave of this dense plasma? A magnetic tsunami born from a dead star thousands of light years away? Perhaps. But astrophysics presents a much darker possibility. Rogue planets. These are worlds violently ejected from their own solar systems during chaotic early days of their formation. Orphan planets drifting through the galaxy completely unbound to any star. They have no sunrises, no days, just eternal, freezing night. Current estimates suggest there could be billions, perhaps trillions, of these dark worlds wandering the Milky Way. Many are larger than Jupiter, and because they emit zero light, They are entirely invisible tower telescopes. They are ghosts. If a massive rogue planet, or even a dense cloud of primordial dark matter, drifted past Voyager's trajectory, its gravitational wake would be incredibly subtle. It wouldn't rip the probe apart. It would just tug at it. A tiny gravitational friction. It would force the spacecraft's thrusters to fire in bizarre, unpredictable patterns just to keep the antenna aimed at Earth. To an engineer looking at a screen 15 billion miles away, it would look exactly like a stream of nonsensical telemetry data. Think about that for a second. If an invisible planet 10 times the mass of Earth passed through the outer edges of our solar system, tomorrow we would not see it coming. Would you even want to know it was there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But rogue planets are not the only monsters lurking in the dark. There is also the Oort cloud, a vast spherical shell of icy debris believed to completely surround our solar system. Trillions of jagged, frozen comets just drifting in the blackness, some as large as mountains. We assume interstellar space is empty, but empty just means we lack the eyes to see what is actually there. Voyager is completely blind. It hasn't taken a photograph in decades because the cameras were turned off to save power. It can only feel its way through the dark. Yet, every time a mysterious signal echoes from the deep, scientists must engage in a grueling process of elimination. They have to strip away the romance of the cosmos and look at the decaying hardware. After all, Voyager 1 is a dying machine from the 1970s. It has less computing power than a modern digital watch. Its plutonium power source degrades by about 4 watts every single year. To keep it alive, engineers have been slowly amputating its parts, shutting down heaters, turning off scientific instruments one by one. It is a slow, agonizing process of freezing to death in the dark. Eventually, NASA engineers traced the bizarre telemetry data to a corrupted memory sequence in an onboard flight computer. A single dead chip, miraculously, they managed to beam a software patch across 15 billion miles off space to route the system around the damaged memory. A surgical strike executed at the speed of light. It took 45 agonizing hours just to find out if the command worked. And it did. The data normalized, but fixing the code does not erase the existential dread of what caused the glitch in the first place. Did a high-energy cosmic ray from a distant supernova strike that exact microchip, or did the probe pass through a localized region of intense, uncharted magnetic pressure that warped its ancient electronics? We may never have a definitive answer, and that is the true terror of deep space. We are essentially blindfolded, feeling around in a room that is billions of miles wide. Voyager 1 carries a golden record, a copper disc containing sounds from Earth, greetings in 59 languages, the heartbeat of an entire civilization that desperately wanted to be known. But it will not last forever. In a few short years, the last of its radioactive plutonium will decay. The final internal heater will fail. The fuel lines will freeze solid. The high-gain antenna will drift out of alignment, and its faint, ghostly whisper will vanish from our receivers forever. It will become a silent, dead monument to humanity, coasting eternally through the Milky Way galaxy. We are an arrogant species, but the absolute silence of the cosmos has a way of putting us in our place. Whatever caused the anomaly, whether it was a decaying silicon chip, a rogue wave of interstellar plasma, or the gravitational wake of a dark world passing quietly in the night, it proves one undeniable fact. The space outside our solar system is not a dead, empty vacuum. It is alive. It is active with forces we do not fully understand. The edge of the solar system is not the end of the story. It is the terrifying beginning of a much larger one. But Voyager 1 is not the only piece of human history out there. While it was struggling with corrupted data, its twin, Voyager 2, sent back its own terrifying transmission from a completely different region of interstellar space. A signal that shattered everything we thought we knew about the edge of the sun's reach. You need to see what the second probe found. Click the video on your screen right now, because the deeper our machines travel into the dark, the more the dark seems to answer back.